Welcome to the Thin Blue Line Outdoors. My name is Cody Johnson, and I'll be your host.
I'm one happy hunter right now, man. Alright, guys. Here she is.
Here at the Thin Blue Line Outdoors, we have three goals. Show you a good time,
I just shot him.
teach you something, plant some clover down, and lead by example.
It's looking good. Great though. Congratulations. Thank you, sir.
If I can accomplish one of those three, that's a win in my book. Thanks for listening. Be safe out there. Alrighty, everyone. This is the Thin Blue Line Outdoors podcast, episode 32. This is the second podcast of the year. First podcast is being actually recorded this year, and Jesse is my first guest of the year so far. So you guys all know Jesse, the Redneck. Haven't got to talk to him in a while. At least he hasn't been on the podcast anyway. Ryan's been doing most of the podcast. Yeah. Yep. But Jesse had a good, successful second firearm season hunt, and he only hunted one afternoon, correct?
One day, one whole day I was out.
Yeah, one whole day. And Jesse's had an interesting season. So we'll let him tell that here in a little bit. But Jesse, can you tell me how your hunt went, essentially?
Yeah, so I went out the Sunday of second shotgun season down to the property we have access to in Toledo, Illinois. Missed all of first shotgun season due to a work conference. So I was kind of itching to get out. I still had the tag, and up to this point, I hadn't gotten a deer this year, and still wanted to have that opportunity. I can't necessarily remember what I was doing the Saturday before. I was going to try to go out that day, but so I woke up really early because it's about a 2-hour drive for me. Got down to Toledo Farm Sunday morning, and I got out there pretty early, and so I'm sitting in the truck. Not the truck, I'm sorry, my car for 40 minutes and finally say, all right, you know what, I don't care. I'll get out there super early and just sit in the woods instead. Well, when you're coming down the Toledo property, you come down through like this open pasture. They used to have cows there, and they don't have cows anymore. You come to this open pasture, there's some junk and stuff, and you go down this really steep hill, and then you can either go left, back up a hill, and there's corn that they planted this year, and you have access to the backside of your tree stand.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you kind of keep going straight, I don't know if it's an easier walk anymore because it's so tall, but it's a more direct shot to your stand.
Mm-hmm.
Heeding from Ryan and Ash's advice, they would go up and around towards the back because Ryan's big buck he shot. I'm not ruining anything.
Nope, we good.
Okay. Was coming from the woods directly to where, like, if I would go straight instead of taking a left, I'd be walking right on that path and probably either spook the deer or leave my scent all over that area. Well, little, belongs to me. I take that left, I get out there early, and a doe wheezes at me. And so then I stop, obviously, instantly, and have my red light on, and I'm scanning, and this doe's probably 20 yards from me, staring at me. And I'm like, oh no, there it goes. I just busted maybe the one deer I'd see today. Well, it, jaunts a little bit, maybe 5 yards further away from me, and then it just stops and stares. And at this point in time, it's still like 30 minutes to shooting, like 20 minutes or something like that. And this doe and I are in the staring contest. So I'm just not moving one bit. All I can see is its red eyes looking at me. As it starts getting a little bit lighter, I can make out the body a little bit, things like that. And it'll eat a little bit, and it'll stop and look at me, eat a little bit, stop and look at me. And so I'm like so uncomfortable because I'm on the hill already too. So I'm like leaning forward to not fall backwards and not make a bunch of noise to spook this deer out completely. So finally, after about 15 minutes of staring at each other, the doe just walks away, which I'm glad it walked away, didn't spook it too bad to where, it wasn't going to come back. Made it to the stand and saw absolutely nothing in the morning. It was, a nice sit. It was not too cold. Did have some rain come in a little bit, but it was ready for that.
Yeah.
And the whole plan for that day was to sit there, and it was an Ash's stand where Ryan actually killed that big buck, looking kind of on that field edge. Um, Sit there all morning and then go back to another spot that I hunted a little bit during first season, but not too much. Um, so then I finally got down, I think around 10:30, 11, and I did this big walk kind of back behind the stand again, checked the cornfield. Um, I ended up not stopping. I stopped at the spot I wanted to for 10 minutes. And it wasn't that I wasn't seeing anything, because obviously it's 10 minutes. You got to get more time than that. But I was texting Ryan, and he's just trying to give me some advice of where they were seeing most of the deer action on the times I was out there. And that was more of what we call the OG stand. It was the stand I shot my first deer out of. It's the first tree stand I've ever hung, let alone on this stand or on this property. So I walked back to that one, and that one sucked. That was a terrible walk because you're going uphill again, starting to get a little slippery with more rain. And in the trail down there, I mean, there were sticks everywhere, trees falling. There's no way to be quiet. So by the time I got up to OGC, I'm like, I just woke up everything and chased everything out of here. There's no point. And I had a gut feeling to go back to Ash's stand. So I did that. And then by this point in time, man, it had to be like 2:30. I'm all hot, sweaty. I've just walked probably 3 miles in my full winter gear and everything. And I sit down, and I'm texting back and forth with Ryan, and I'm like, I don't know. I kicked that one up this morning. I didn't spook it too bad. They got to come out eventually, right? They got to come back. They have to be bedding there. And the only thing that concerned me is it's so close to the farmer's house. Like,
Yeah.
or obviously they're probably used to it because that's where they live and they know the noise going on. But there's so many variables. If the farmer's outside and he makes weird noise, they're going to go, or maybe they're not even going to come back. But the Ryan said he goes, actually that last morning, right before he got his buck, he was going to go sit down there because that's where they saw Big Boy walk across the field.
Yep.
It's actually where he killed his coyote, he said, right there. All right, let's go. Let's try it. Make my way back there with maybe an hour left of hunting time. And well, this is how I'm going to end my season, on this like last minute Hail Mary change of plan.
Yep.
Let's see what happens. So I'm literally like just laying face down on the ground under like where this tall grass can cover me. And then text around, things like that. And finally, like I look up again, and there's these 2 deer just standing there. I'm like, oh shit. Like they snuck up on me. I don't know what it is. This little property, they always sneak up on me. So there's, I think I shot a button buck. It's probably my
Button
4th
slayer.
buck.
Buck slayer.
Now, got them all. But is him and maybe his mom. There's a bigger doe with him. And so somehow I managed to get up and not spook them because it was noisy. Pulled up my H&R Ultra Slug, aimed at the bigger one, took the shot. I think what happened was, and I missed. It looked like I may have hit, but it ran and it stopped and looked at me, and the little one kind of stopped and stared at me too. I think what happened with that one was I didn't have it shoulder it quite right. So when it shot, I went up, which is how much of a kickback it has, and I went over it. But I thankfully they didn't spook to the point where they took off, because then I was able to, with it being a single shot, I had to break it back open, throw another slug in there. And then at that point in time, when I pulled up, the button buck was just, almost perfectly in my crosshairs. Pulled the trigger. He ran maybe 2 or 3 yards and dropped. And at that point in time, the mama doe ran even further. And at this point in time, the farmer and his wife are outside doing some work, and they see mama just take off. And then they ran up towards the house first, and then took just an absolute right away from them and ran off into a cornfield. They weren't, it looked like it was running to the point where it wasn't injured, and it was just scared. it stopped and make sure I wasn't coming anymore, and then took off again.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't touch it then.
No, and I had 2 tags available to me to use, and so I could have harvested both, um, but it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I spend, a few minutes. The one I saw drop, so I just walked over to it, ended up spining it because again, when I got it, pulled it up to get a quick shot in, it went up, hit it in the spine, and dropped. Um, I did a little bit of trailing or just trying to see if I saw blood from the first one, and I couldn't see anything. So I knew I didn't hit it, right?
Yeah.
Because if I hit it, then I'd have to go track it and make sure,
Yep.
uh, that it's down or try to get an opportunity at it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, last 15 minutes of light of being able to hunt, got it done, and then the work began. Now I had to go back to get the sled, all my tools to get it field dressed, everything, doing that in the dark, the headlamp. I think almost every other deer I've shot has been morning time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't had to do much in the dark like that when it's closing in on you. Easiest drag out of my life at that spot because it's where I set up at was literally right at the bottom of our entrance point. Right at the bottom. Like I essentially had my feet up onto an old abandoned boat he has down in his pasture. So it's right next to his house. And it was a button buck. So it wasn't
over your shoulder.
Yeah. I used the sled. I will say the field dressing wasn't my best work because it was so dark and it was my first time doing that. And I was trying to do it quickly, Sunday night before I had to come back to work and the family and everything like that to get ready for the week. It was let's get it and go. So hardest part was after that was trying to find somebody to take it to.
Yeah, I couldn't believe me when you said the one local guy here was not taking any more deer. I'm like, what the hell? And then I can't believe where you took it to. I can't believe they charged you that much.
Yeah, it was so. I did get the sausage with it, like the breakfast sausage. But
That'd be good.
I mean, I had some. I like the local guys better. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. This one to me kind of tastes like it has a hint of spice, but it's more like I have a ketchup taste to it somehow. And I'm like, it just, yeah, I don't know. Anyways.
Well, now you know. Now you know.
Yeah, and it's not worth the money. No.
Yep. Now you know.
The place I took it to had this big old freezer truck in the back. And that's how I was able to drop it off that night. For those of you wondering, yes, I could have hung it up. It was cold enough for me to hang it in my garage and I could have processed it myself. But that week at work, I had
a lot.
Yeah, 3 winter concerts for my students that last until about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night every night. Right. And then come home and get my own kids to bed. And then school board meeting on top of that. Yeah. And by the time I'd have got to it, it had been too warm.
Yeah, that was the problem. I think it was Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday that week. It was supposed to get pretty warm, and I'm like, because I'm like, normally if it was cold, I'm like just hanging at my house and we'll take care of it on the weekend or something. But yeah, it was gonna be way too warm.
I think it almost hit 60 that week. It was just insane.
Yeah. One of these days I'll have a walk-in cooler and then we'll just hang it for a week and get to it later.
I saw something on the internet where a guy had a stand-up deep freeze and he cut a big hole in the top of it to hang the feet up. And he just had the rest of it in the deep freeze.
A bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
No. Well, they had this big truck in the back where I took it at. And, like, let's just say thankfully nobody else was there to see me drop my deer off. Because I'm talking, there were some big old trucks in this freezer truck. There was big old in that. Thought about taking somebody else's tag and writing their number down next to my name, but I didn't do that. But hey, it's all it's in. Well, I'm happy with it. It got me meat in the freezer. I had a chance early in the year and dropped the ball in that, and it was good time to get one down for this year. So.
Yeah. So on top of that, I mean, how do you feel? How you feel about your season? I know we all go into season with high hopes, hoping we're gonna kill a monster this year and all that stuff. And I mean, how do you feel about it? Just all in general, and what do you like to improve on?
Judgment calls was something I wanted to improve upon. So I felt like I'm glad I got something this year and not
Me
having
too. Me too.
something hanging over my head. So for those of you who you probably haven't heard, it's the first time on the
I've
podcast.
not told this story. I've not told this. So this is breaking news.
Yeah. So we went out bow hunting on the lease land, I think first weekend in November.
Something like that.
And what? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm sitting in a stand there and I have is it a 10 pointer or 8? I'll look at the picture again. Anyway, a decent sized buck, split brow tine. We have one picture of him on a trail camera. And it's probably 9:30 or so in the morning. And I can see him blazing across from another field across the road from where I'm hunting at. And it's almost like he's sprinting to me. And so I'm getting excited, amped up, ready to go, sitting there waiting. I grab my bow and I watch him as he crosses the road and he's still trotting. So I'm starting to get set up. Comes in within 30 yards of me. And so I pull back and I wait for him to naturally stop. And he naturally stops and I take the shot. So when I took the shot, after reviewing tape, because I did have it filmed.
The good thing and the bad thing about having it filmed.
Yeah. So if you can't tell already, the news story is I didn't this deer.
Yeah.
Reviewing the tape, I thought in the moment he was broadside to me. He was not. He was quartering to me. And so when I shot, he went to duck and run. And unfortunately, when he did that, my arrow went pretty much right in between his antlers right here. And I know that because when he turned and he ran away from me, I saw the arrow sticking out. And then he kind of ran and went around the bend. Knew it was a bad hit instantly. When I saw that, was just absolutely gutted and devastated. It's not the fact that I missed it would have been the biggest buck of my life so far. It was a good sized deer. I just don't want to ever injure a deer and then not be able to harvest or not be able to get that second opportunity on it. And that's essentially what happened. Where I hit it, we kind of we did find some blood. It was muscle blood. It's gonna survive. I think where I hit the bony part of it, kind of
Hopefully,
if it would have went through, it would have dropped.
You shoot an expandable, right? Yeah. So what we're hoping happened, because we found blood, but not a whole bunch. What we're hoping happened is that mechanical just mushroomed against the skull, didn't penetrate it at all. That's what we're hoping, and we're hoping he lives. Now none of my camera, I haven't had him on camera. I don't think you guys have had him on camera. However, I don't think we had any pictures of that buck until late October anyway. So I'm pretty sure that buck was not, his home's not on the farm. I think he just was cruising looking for a doe and we just happened to get a window. So he's probably on another farm. Unfortunately, and we'll talk about that, I was hoping I could shed hunt on the area and try to, if he is dead, maybe find him in the spring. That is not going to be able to happen if he is dead now, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But yeah, looking back now, what I really think that happened to you is, we call and for law enforcement when we do police training, use of force training, defensive tactics. We have like these phases, these color phases we call them. So when most people walk around, like right now in your house, right now in my house, we are considered white. Our heart rate is normal. We're in the white color zone. We're not worried about any threats coming, anything like that. And most people are that way out in the public too. They're just walking around, not worried about anything. Or like police officers, when we hit the streets, you're supposed to be in yellow. That's what you're supposed to be. And you're not hyper vigilant or anything like that, but you're aware of your surroundings. You're looking around, being prepared. and then you naturally go to red usually when you get into that use of force incident or something like that. And red is when you start losing some of your motor functions and stuff like that. Um, and then when you go to black, that's when you like black colors on. That's when you completely just phase out. You may not remember what happened. You just totally just freak out. In my opinion, you probably got close to that top of that red to maybe in the black area because I didn't think you were lying to me. I was like, when you said it was broadside, I'm like, and he looped that way because I've seen weird stuff happen with deer. It's totally possible if you're pulled back on a deer and that deer is hyper vigilant and just spins on you, get in the head. And I really think that's what happened to you at first. And then we watched that video and I'm like, that deer is quartering hard towards you the whole time. And I'm like, I think you got too hyped up. That's all it was. I mean,
Yeah, and I mean that's what the tape shows, and that's probably one of the most disheartening parts about it is that as the hunter, I need to be the one in control of that scenario and that situation and make that call. And you told me, your family's told me, there's other hunters that told me, it happens, and I get it happens, but I don't know. I want to be better than that.
doesn't make it easier, unfortunately.
Everybody wants to be better than that, and so that was the most disheartening part, is that it wasn't anything the deer did; it was everything I did. And realistically, if I would have waited 30 more seconds, a minute, he might have gave me a broadside shot, kind of where he was. It looked like he might have been going down a path right in front of the trail camera, actually. That would have still been probably a 30-yard shot, but it would give me a lighter from where I was.
Look, it happens. Anything else on this season you want to talk about or anything like that? You really didn't get to hunt as much as the rest of us did this year.
No, Ryan got out a lot. I got out like 4 weekends, 4 or 3 weekends. And that, that was a lot for me this year, especially for, the job, the family, everything like that. So I was, obviously you always want to get out more. You would love to be out every single day if you could, doing those things. No, I had fun. I had a lot of fun going out this year still. It was awesome to, have Ryan harvest his first archery buck and then get all the pictures from them at shotgun camp and how, much of a successful season they had out there. And then just the excitement again of being out. And, you go out there, it's just stressful. If that was the nice part of that, during those moments when I went out was probably some of my most stressful at work. And so it gave me that time to decompress and to kind of get myself regulated to be back and then, back on top of my game at the job at the same time. So, I'm going to say I wouldn't change a thing, but I definitely would change the shot, obviously. That's, I think it's just going to be one of those tools I have in my head now to where I won't make that mistake again. Kind of like the first miss I ever had. I wish I would have just missed the deer, obviously, and not had the headshot. But my first miss I ever had, you were there and you said you pulled it because you were looking. And now I don't do that anymore because of that one miss. So
You gotta learn.
Yeah.
Live and learn.
Yeah. But you again got it all done at the end of the day. Last possible minute, last chance to go out. Yeah, it's another buck, but it's gonna taste good.
That's all that matters, man. It's gonna feed the family. I know we were all pumped for you, happy you got one. So but anyway, talk about this year. So I'll kind of bring it up. So Jesse and Ryan, that lease they keep saying. So essentially what it was is we as a family leased 80 acres. And then we leased another, it's like 35 to Jesse and Ryan from that 80. Kind of the agreement we had with the person we were leasing it from. And anyway, they've been they've had it for 2 years now. As Jesse and I have been hunting it. I've killed one. Oh no, I've killed only one out of it, I think.
One.
Yeah, because you killed two. You killed your buck. I forgot.
Yeah, killed
Yeah,
my buck, and Ryan got his button buck this
yeah.
year off.
So they've killed a
Not a lack
deer.
of opportunity.
Yeah, they've killed a deer year on it. Plenty of action stuff. And then like I said, so it's 80-acre park. Throughout the years, man, we've been leasing it. As 10 plus years we've been leasing it. A lot of does have been killed on it. A lot of bucks have been killed on it. It's been a good property to us. But unfortunately, all things come to an end, and the property got sold.
Uh,
Um, yeah. So property got sold. So as of January 16th, end of whitetail season, we will no longer be able to hunt it, which means Jesse and Ryan can no longer be able to hunt it. It sucks, but it is what it is. We're just gonna make the most of it. Hopefully, this new neighbor, will be cool, and we'll, like I said, we'll make the most of it. Yeah, there's no. It always sucks when you lose access to property, especially when you're used to having it, but
right.
it's called life. So
Called life, and then we gotta look at it as an opportunity to try to explore some areas.
correct.
So there's some
Yeah.
spots up here near me where I just gotta figure out who they are and start knocking on some doors.
Mhm.
I was telling Cody a little earlier today. That was weird. I was telling Boom a little earlier today.
I'm like, I don't know if you've ever called me Cody before.
I think I have. No,
I don't like it.
no, it didn't taste right coming out of the mouth there. On my way home tonight, and for the past several nights, there's a couple fields that are similar, like right next to each other. There's been about 7 deer in each field
Mhm.
every night. I think I counted a total of, in the 20-minute drive I have home, about 18, 19 deer tonight that I saw.
Mhm.
So just cruising, hanging out,
Mhm.
eating corn stalks at this point in time, any leftover corn.
Mhm.
So I gotta
Yep.
figure out how to start knocking on them doors.
Yep. I know. And then Jesse and I also talked about maybe we might try to look up some public land options for next year, because we always like to get together at least one weekend to
Yeah.
hunt, Jesse, Ryan, and I. So, worst case scenario, we'll take you guys back out to the Burn It Out property.
We could always go to Lido too.
True. Yep. Yep.
We
True.
have access.
I
And
know. I know. We've been doing the opening weekend the last 2 years, but we're not going to be able to do that because, knock on wood here. Hopefully, my dad and I and brother, we're going to be in Wyoming hunting antelope. So that's what we're hoping for. Anyway, we got to get the tags still, but usually every year you get them. So that'll be
yeah.
that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. Uh, any improvements though you plan on like to do in the off season? Whether it's still, I know you obviously been in a big running kick and losing weight and stuff, or just shooting your bow, anything like that.
Uh, for me, it'd be shooting the bow more again, just more consistently. Um, in that way, I don't know. I'd like to get new strings on it this year
Mhm.
and get it kind of my draw length, as we've talked about. I've just gotten used to it. I think is a little, little long, a little short, maybe. I don't know. It's not right.
Thought
Uh,
I thought yours was a little long. I thought.
yeah.
I don't remember
So
though exactly.
right, get that fixed up. That way I'm doing the proper technique and proper way to shoot.
Mhm.
I'm not bad with where I'm at, but just because I'm used to it.
Mhm.
So we're still working on that and getting out more consistently to shoot the bow.
Mhm.
You know, I'd like to start it more in the summertime instead of August, like beginning of summer. And that way I can maybe improve my range a little bit. Again,
Mhm.
I don't think I would, exactly extend my range out in the field, but just to have the confidence to know I could hit my range in the field.
Yep.
Um, and then just to get my oldest Marshall out a little bit more with me, to do some summer scouting, to do some summer work on the land. Um,
And bring them out here fishing again.
yes.
Mhm.
So that's actually my New Year's goal, is doing like this ultimate dad list is what I'm
Oh
calling
yeah.
it. And part of that is like, taking Marshall fishing in different locations, not just the same spot, but doing it frequently too. Going actual camping, we'll camp out in the yard or in the living room, but going into a campsite and doing that with the family. Um, we got tickets to go see some monster trucks in
Oh
February
yeah.
in Peoria with the boys, so they're going to absolutely love that.
Mhm.
That's like my personal goal. That related to hunting, not related to hunting, is that to kind of work on this ultimate dad list. My wife's like, "Are you dying or something? Like you're trying to make this list and check all these things off?" I go, "No, it's like everything else. It's one thing to have this thought and this goal, but if you don't have how you're going to do it or what you want to actually do, you're not." So,
Yeah.
and it's going to be an updated list every year. So,
Yep. What physical fitness wise, where you at right now?
well, the holidays were not good to me.
I don't think they're good to anybody.
I'm heavy. I'm sitting at about actually 217, which is about 10 or 17 pounds heavier than I want to be. So what I've been doing right now is I got a jump rope downstairs as my cardio. And then I have essentially, it's the Walmart brand Bowflex. And so I've been doing a little bit of that to work on just toning. So chest, back, shoulders, triceps, arms. They have like quads, like quad raise and stuff on that. It's not the best for that. So I'm just going to keep my jump roping as my cart or my leg workout for the time being. I'll do calf raises on the side, make sure I keep those in, just to kind of keep the body where it needs to be at least. I could be the person that tries to go out and run right now, but I hate it. And right now I still enjoy running, so I don't want to make myself hate running. Plus it's really dark. It's really dark. I'm running around with the headlamp. Sucks. And I don't want to do that anymore. So
I don't blame you.
So no, I guess the goals for that physical fitness wise is to get back down to where I was and then just try to tone it up more. I think the lowest I got was 193, but I was a flabby 193. If I can get back down to 200, 205, but be more of a toned 205, a healthier 205, that's where I want to be health wise.
Yep.
So
nope, I got you.
Yeah. See what happens.
Where my goals are, obviously for the brand, I just want to continue growing. Try to get more consistent with my videos. With editing is the hardest part. I know the goals are I want to come out with another real quick, like probably 2 little vlogs like I've been doing all season long. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do my buck story and then Ryan's buck story real briefly. And after that, we're gonna do gonna do almost like a more documented edited series. So for example, I haven't killed a buck. This would have been my second year without killing a buck. Maybe even third year. Think about that. Either way, I'm gonna kind of tell that story about me finally getting that buck. I'm probably gonna tell Ryan's 2 stories of Ryan. I'm gonna go all the way back from that first time he was out here and he missed that turkey to all the way him getting his first archery harvest. So I'm gonna tell that whole story, and then I'll probably do something with him and his brother about him killing that biggest buck of his. So there's 3 episodes right there. So that'll be nice, and we'll see what else I go in there. And then so that's kind of for the brand side of things. I need kind of hindsight or little editor's note in here. I'm pretty much sold out of almost all my merch. I got some hoodies and stuff left. So all my hats are gone. The camouflage hats right now. I got stuff put back for people, but other than that, I'm out. So I got to restock and get all that good stuff. But anyway, back to the goals.
Well, good for you on that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that. For hunting wise though, I want to do more habitat improvement on the farm. So we're gonna start doing that. I got certain goals in mind, certain things I want to achieve before season, and then I got some other stuff like if I get to them, cool. If not, I'll get to them next year.
Right.
All stuff I can do. So looking forward to that. Obviously shoot my bow more. Kind of get in a consistent rhythm where I shoot at least once a week would be nice. I know when I do that, man, there's been a couple years where I've done that and I just feel like I'm just super deadly with it. I feel like I'm more, so the years I've done that, obviously as a police officer, I feel very efficient with my handgun, with my pistol.
Mhm.
There was 2 years in a row I was shooting my bow so often, man. You give me one shot with a handgun or with my pistol at whatever range, I felt more comfortable with my bow than I did my handgun. I was just shooting it so often, and I'm a decent shot with my handgun, but
Yeah.
I just with that bow, I just feel deadly with it at times. So I kind of got lackadaisical with it. So I need to shoot it more. Physical fitness, I was the heaviest at the end of Christmas that I've ever been in my life. I hit 235, and I've never been that big. So I'm already when I weighed myself the other day, and I've only been dieting for a week. A lot of it I know is water weight, but I already hit 229, which doesn't surprise me. But I want to get to and at I want to get to at least 200, and then probably reevaluate, and I might try to get down to 190. We'll see. So that's kind of my fitness goals there. Obviously, I'm gonna keep training jiu-jitsu and judo because I like fighting. So yeah, so I like fighting, so we're gonna keep doing that. And then a big family goal. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people probably know already, and Jesse obviously knows, but I got my baby boy will be due in February, so that's gonna take up a lot of my time. So just
Coming
try to
up,
be
man.
try to be the best dad and husband I can be and be supportive during all that. You know,
Are you guys ready?
kind of, I, kind of getting ready. She's been nesting. She's nesting hard right now. So, and I'm just doing what I'm told, pretty much. Hey,
Good
do
man.
this. Okay, do that.
Yes, man.
Okay. So that's kind of where that goes. But
Oh yeah.
yep. Other than that, I might not see you to the hog hunt. Um,
Yeah. I wanted to throw this one. The one more thing I'm gonna do is actually make it to one of the archery shoots you always invite me to.
yeah. Nope. That'd be
Try
yeah.
one out.
Fun. I'd love for you and Ronnie. I think problem is once you guys do come to one, you guys are gonna be like, that was fun. Like,
It's like you know how I got a bow in the first place
mhm.
was because there one time we went hunting down there. It might have been turkey or we were coyote hunting
Like,
and you let me
yep.
shoot your bow or I
Mhm.
shot Ryan's bow and I was like, ooh,
Mhm.
ooh.
Yeah. And
Most of the time
if
was
you definitely could bring Marshall to one of those too.
oh yeah,
Yep, you
perfect.
just walking through the woods. So
I'm gonna
might
enjoy
just bring him
that.
some waters and stuff. But
Yeah.
and I don't know if he's got a little toy bow. I know we've had little kids there before, a little toy bow and shoot before.
No, he's got like a little Nerf crossbow. It's like this
Yeah,
big,
yeah, bring
that can
it.
shoot darts that sticks onto their
Yeah,
patio door.
that'd be fun.
So
Like we'll shoot our long range, and then when we walk up to get our arrows, get like 5 yards away, let them shoot.
yeah, I did you ever heard of the app called Time Hop?
Mm-mm. Nope.
So it lets you see kind of things you did in the years past or whatever.
Yep.
Um, I think it was almost around this time, a year, 2 years ago, is when Marshall got that little crossbow.
I remember this video. I think.
Yeah, and
Yep.
Emily and my
Yep.
middle child Walter were out at the time, and so we set up a bunch of Marshall stuffed animals around the house and we went hunting. He
Hmm.
hunted a
Yeah.
deer. He hunted Winnie the Pooh,
Hmm.
a bald eagle, which don't worry, it's just a stuffed one. But he just had a blast going around hunting. It was a very fun time. So yeah, he would really enjoy that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. We definitely have to plan that. But yeah, I think other than that, man, it'd be hog hunt time. I'm looking forward to it.
I am very much so excited for this hog hunt. I think you might see me before that because I would like to come up and get some bow shots in with you and maybe fire
Mhm.
off around 30-06, get that sighted in and ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be awesome. It's my weekend of my 30th birthday party,
Yep.
and kind of even more exciting is that my dad and brother are planning to come
Yep.
as of right now.
Myself in that.
And this is the first time I've ever hunted with my
Mhm.
dad or my brother realistically. And so to be able to share something like that with them is going to be awesome.
That'd be
Uh,
fun. Be a lot of
yeah.
fun.
And so kind of we're doing it down in Centerville, Texas.
Hmm.
From my understanding, it's going to be you, me,
Hmm.
Ryan, and Atkins
Hmm.
in your truck. heading down the day before.
Yes. Now I will say this. Nate might ride with his friend Matt.
Oh yeah.
So that would free up some space. I'm Nate and I both agree. We're hoping that happens because if not, my truck's gonna be packed.
Matt and Nate, I know you're gonna listen to this. Make
Mm-hmm.
it happen.
Yeah.
Let's put that space in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we plan to just kind of driving all night, going through it, taking turns.
Mhm.
So that'll be really fun.
Mhm.
As stated, I'm gonna bring my 30-06 and my bow. And my plan is to get my first hog with my 30-06, get one down, guaranteed. And then go out with the bow for the challenge.
Same exact plan. Same weapons too. So
Yeah.
exactly my plan.
My thought is that I'm gonna spend the money, go down there, do it, enjoy it. I want to bring something home. And so, and you people out there are gonna say, well, you're just good enough with the bow, you could do it. Yeah, but you have a 30-06, why not?
Yep.
So
Then I don't know. I kind of plan on doing my own butchering. It's kind of my
yeah,
plan. Luckily I got that grinder this year, and my plan is kind of do it all myself. And that now if I get two, then maybe I'll take one up to a processor up here.
right.
But
They do your basic cuts down there, don't they? Isn't that what I saw?
maybe if they do, I'll just let them do that. Then if they do, I didn't know though if they did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do their basic cuts right down there. It's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
like an extra fee, but it's not.
No, I'll do that then. Easier to pack them in the freezer or in the
Yeah,
cooler.
that's back on the way back. Yeah, because otherwise you're gonna be
Mhm.
hogging there. It's gonna be rough.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll
One
have.
thing I gotta look at is the cabin arrangements again. I'm trying to remember how much sleeping capacity it actually has. And
I plan on bringing a tent, honestly.
air mattress or couch, but
Yep. I was gonna bring a tent and a cot if we need it. I got a not pretty nice cot that I'm used to sleeping on if I need to, so not a problem.
what's
I'm
your
not.
big? You have any concerns for the hot cot?
No, not really. I mean, obviously, I hope we get an opportunity. That's all I asked for. Get an opportunity. It's up to me what I do on it. If honestly, if I could plan out my hog count, I'd love for myself to get one right off the bat, and that would be more focused on filming probably. Obviously, if I get a chance to go out with my bow, I will. But I would love to get. Obviously, I know you'll probably be filming. I'll give you my camera, and you'll probably be filming. I know Ryan will be filming,
Yeah.
uh, and then when it comes to Nate and Matt, I don't know if they'll be filming. So I would like if I killed one, I could jump in with them and film them. That'd be nice. I plan on
So
bringing
I,
my pod, huh?
well, you're gonna bring what now? I'm sorry.
Plan on bringing my podcast equipment down with us so we can film
There you go.
probably a few podcasts down there. Obviously we'll be filming everything. I think it's gonna be a good time.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm pretty sure it's a dry county though, something like that. So we got to bring that stuff in beforehand.
Man,
Stop somewhere on the way.
what's wrong with
Yeah,
it? What's wrong?
I
with it?
know. We'll be over prepared for it. It's all right.
Well,
Um,
all those coolers are
I
going
was
to be
thinking-
empty on the way there, so we can
and
fill them
then
up.
they got to fill them up on the way there, and they have to be empty to get the hog in, right? So it kind of encourages you got to do it. So
We gotta do what we gotta.
I was thinking snakes. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man, I've been around rattlesnakes now. They don't bother me. Like I mean, I will say this: I haven't been nervous in the woods in a long time. And 2 years ago, when I went elk hunting with my dad, and when I about stepped on that rattlesnake, I was nervous. I will say this: I was nervous. Now I will say hog hunting. I'm going to be wearing my rubber boots, my big long ones that go almost to my knees. They're not snake boots, but I have a feeling a snake would have a hard time getting through that rubber.
Yeah.
So more than likely I'll be okay. I wouldn't mind seeing one though. I wouldn't mind seeing one and shooting it.
Yeah, you know what? If I get the chance to shoot it, that's a different story. But it's getting too close to it. Yeah. So are you gonna bring a sidearm then too?
Yes. I'm not so much for the animals, but for the two-legged animals that we see on the way there and back. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm more worried about, man, than usually game animals, man. Just people are dumb
True.
nowadays. Dumber than
Yeah,
they usually
going to
were.
be a lot of driving, a lot of stopping.
Hmm
I
So
didn't
it
even think
is.
about that.
hmm Yep.
Yeah.
Probably bring my 45. I might bring my 9, but I'll probably bring my 45.
You mean
It'll,
business?
yep, it'll stop a pig and it'll stop a person. So that's the plan.
I might bring my
Hopefully,
9 then. That would do a snake again.
you can also buy if you're mainly worried about snakes, you can buy. You ever seen that snake shot?
No.
So 9 millimeter, 22, 45, whatever you want. It looks just like a 9 millimeter round, except
Mhm.
at the top, at the tip where your like hollow point would be or whatever, full metal jacket, it's a whole bunch of BBs. It's like
Okay.
little micro BBs. So the accuracy and the range sucks. But if you're like 5 yards or less, you just pop, and you can buy them at Farm King. I don't know if we can buy them at Walmart. You probably buy them Bass Pro though, and they're made for snakes. So they're literally called snake rounds.
I might have to invest in that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like
I know people use them around here for like when they're mowing and they see like a snake and
oh,
they're scared. They just pull out and shoot them.
I'm
I
not sure
know
if I can get by with that here.
probably not. These guys are country
All right.
boys, but
Little gunshot going off.
uh-huh.
No,
Never
that's not.
shot one, but
I don't know. I think if I heard a rattle and I didn't see it, I'd be nervous. You know what I mean? Because then it's like, where is it?
mhm.
That's gonna be my biggest.
See, at least I can hear him. That's stepped on it. He never did make a noise. That's what scared me. Like, because it was just cold enough where they didn't want to move. Now, Texas completely different than Colorado, obviously.
Yeah, Texas in April, it should be.
It's
It
starting to
should be
warm up
warm.
some. Yeah.
It's not going to be like Texas in the summertime, but it should be warm.
Yep.
No,
So
I'm super excited to get down there. Hopefully, we get one, like you said early, and then we can eat on that a little bit, and then
mhm,
get another one to bring home. I do want the shot with the bow. I think that'd be really cool.
mhm,
Um, and so I'm not going to do, we talked about earlier getting draw length and maybe new strings this year, but I don't think I'll do that before the hog hunt in April. Just keep it the same setup.
mhm.
Maybe find a little heavier of an arrow, broadhead to bring with me to attack the pig with, and then I think I might go with the fixed blade for it.
That's for sure. I would definitely go with fixed blade. That's what I'm gonna obviously do. But
Yeah, that's my plan, and hopefully we get it done. Very
mhm,
much. I'm so excited for it. It's been, you know, one thing that we talked about last year was how much we missed hunting in the off season. And you do the work in the off season, but to be on the actual hunt.
yeah.
And this is gonna be my first out of state hunt too. So
Oh yeah, I
very
didn't think about
awesome.
that. Didn't think about
Very
that.
excited for it.
Yep, and it's gonna be fun because obviously you know Nate, but he's very green to hunting, very green, and some of the stuff he says on hunts and just experience, you're gonna find it enjoyable.
Nate's
It's
a funny guy. And
oh man.
I haven't hunted with him. I'm assuming it's gonna be hilarious.
Mhm,
Just based off of some of the interactions I've had with him post hunts. So
yeah.
it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a good group of guys going. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun.
Yep.
Oh,
Well, in this recording, then I'll talk to you a little bit. But yeah, so anyway, this was podcast 32. Jesse was the first guest on for 2022. 2021 was a good
honor.
year for us. Yep. 2021 was a good year for us as a brand. Maybe not a good year for everybody else, but as a brand,
Yeah.
it was a good year. We had some good times. I think we all learned a lot, and I know I'm looking forward to 2022 and our hunting adventures. So thanks guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow. Everything's still growing, and I just appreciate the support. Thank you.